Guys, this is the recap for the next 15. Season 1, Episode 10. Reunion Part 2. Now, the episode starts off actually where it's, where is it? Where does it start off? Oh yeah, it starts off with everyone just regrouping and Claudia's blowing up and she's talking to Laura about how, she's tired of defending herself against, people like Jennifer, and Claudia just feels like, at the end of the day, people love to call other people a whore, and they use that as a crutch, and it's not fair. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that might be true. I mean, not might be. That is true. But, Claudia, you joke around about it, and so that's why people felt like, okay, alright, so she just knows herself, and that's why she's joking. That's not what I think, that's just what other people thought. I mean, I'm on social media, so I see that. That is what they were thinking. Jen right now is upset because of her mom's death, and so Jen is unraveled. She can't deal with anything right now, in the sense that, maybe the more calm, rational person isn't there. And she's talking with her manager, and her manager's just like, you know what? Your mother wouldn't want to see this side from you. She really wouldn't. And it's funny because when Claudia's trying to pour out her heart to Laura and Karamo's receiving everything. He's like, I feel you, I feel you. Laura's just like on her phone like, word, true. And I'm just like, Laura, I know Laura doesn't care. Doesn't care in the sense like, oh, this is just some petty drama. I really don't care. So shout out to Laura for that. The growth and development from Basketball Wives. Now, Benzino is with Althea, or Althea, however you say her name. And Fifi isn't feeling him like that. She's just over the whole situation in the sense that he's not putting in the type of work and effort she would expect from someone who says that they love her. And I'm like, okay, that's valid. That's absolutely valid. Benzino right now is on this whole tip of, I do what I can. I'm there for you. I profess my love and admiration for you every single scene, every single time, and it's not enough. And it's like, okay, she was like, actions speak louder than words. I'm like, that's true, because she was like, when you're at home, I don't feel it. When you have the opportunity to come home on the weekends, I still don't feel it. I'm like, alright, I understand that. They bring out their sons, like, oh, so cute. It's like, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Chill out, guys. And Benzino throughout the whole reunion was sweating. He was over. I don't know if he was still sick from something and his body was trying to burn it up, or if he just felt so uncomfortable. The lights were hot. If you have thick skin, like literally if you have thick skin and the lights are hot, then you're going to really sweat. Now, they're showing the bonus footage of essentially when Claudia was dealing with Benzino. Apparently, Claudia and Benzino had this weird falling out, and it couldn't be explained except for the fact that Benzino had to apologize. Benzino realized he took it too far, and he went off on Claudia, and it wasn't necessarily necessary. It wasn't necessarily right, and because he was calling her a B and all these different things that weren't valid at that time. He apologized, so Karama was like, shout out to you for apologizing. Aside from that, Claudia and Jennifer, they're not going to be friends. They really don't like each other. It's very apparent. And Jennifer just has this whole thing of, well, actually before that, I'm glad that Carlos brought up something that a lot of people have been saying in general, where it's like, and I actually mentioned it in the previous video, of how Benzino, sometimes it seems like all of his issues are with women. But, you know what? Benzino made an even better point. Benzino's like, I'm on a show where I'm just surrounded by women. So, of course, if anytime I'm having an actual issue or confrontation, it's with a woman, then I'm going to be perceived as someone who has problems with a woman. He's like, he's on the show with 4 women, 1 gay guy, technically 2 gay guys because Carlos is also gay, but he's the executive producer, so he's not regularly filming with them, and he's not a cast member. So he's just like, of course, if you look at it from that perspective, it looks like I have a problem. And I'm like, okay, that's valid, that's valid. And another thing to that is, if you're, again, if the only time you have an issue is when you're talking to someone who may be of the opposite sex, then that might come off as, damn, oh, because Benzino his personality is explosive. And then when I say explosive, I mean when he's docile and cool, he's really chill. But when he feels turned or irritated or annoyed or whatever, it comes out, and it comes out very strong. It's just not like, you know what, I just don't know. No, it's like, you're gonna listen to me, shut the F up type of vibe. And so that's why I think people are like, yo. And so if he consistently, it just looks like he has mainly issues with women, then that's why people be like, you need to relax, chill out, because you're doing a little bit too much. And at the end of the day, it's not a good look. Which, none of this is really a good look. Let's just be real. None of this is really a good look. Claudia and Jennifer have this whole back and forth about how, again, it's just so dumb because it was like, where was the respect? Where was the respect? Why was it that we're supposed to be working together? I'm not coddling adults. You know, I'm not coddling adults. What do you think I was supposed to do differently? Claudia doesn't want to take responsibility. She says she wants to take responsibility, and Laura called her out on it. Laura was just like, wait a minute. So, what are you taking responsibility for again? Just so that I know. And Claudia couldn't really say anything. And she was trying to, but nothing was really coming out. Nothing of substance was really coming out. And everyone was just going off on her except for Karamo, because they were saying, see, that's the issue. You keep talking, but at the end of the day, you're not producing anything. It's like you keep squeezing on the udder, but no milk comes out. Like, what? Where did they do that at? And that is the main thing with Claudia. She is mature enough to say, no, she was wrong. But then it's like, oh, wait, once you try to hear the explanation, you realize, you don't think you were actually wrong. Stop it now. You don't think you're actually wrong, and it clearly came out. New York and Action, here's the thing. New York has a very strong personality. She got it from Sister Patterson. It's a very commanding personality because her mother had such a vice grip on her. I don't know if now, but at least at the time, still had such a vice grip on her emotionally, mentally. Of course, in her relationship, she's going to really demand everything from her partner. And if they're not just 100% willing to do whatever, then she's going to go and lash out. And remember, Action did propose to her, and she gave the ring to, she walked into what was it, like a CVS or something like that, or Walgreens or Walmart, and gave the ring to the person who was the cashier. And so he's like, you know, at this point, I don't know what is going to happen. New York is like, Carlos, ask Action, what are we? And Action couldn't really say anything. It was like, Carlos was like, so your girlfriend? Was like, yeah, girlfriend. New York was like, yeah, that's the problem. He's not even claiming me at this point. And I'm just like, well, clearly you two want to be together, so you two need to stop faking the funk, because you have a strong personality. Action just wants to be heard, and because of that, he's maybe not reacting the way that he should / or want you to. We fast forward from that to Claudia versus Jennifer. And Claudia, of course, is talking about, again, the fact that she was raped. And then we find out that Laura was sexually abused when she was 7 years old. She delved into sports, and so she was like, that was her outlet to get out her aggression. And she was like, that's why I can't say anything about how Claudia chooses to deal with her situation, because, you know, everyone handles it differently. If she handles it through comedy, then that's fine. And I was irritated at Jennifer, because I'm like, Jennifer, you just said that your mom told you that she was raped years ago. I forgot how many years ago, like a long time ago. And she only told you now, 4 years ago. And I understand you're like, that's why you taking it very seriously when Claudia was saying what she was saying about her situation. You felt like it was odd that this woman would just willingly, divulge this information to someone that she doesn't really know. And Claudia was like, yeah, that was my way of trying to deal with it, just talking about it and trying to show you where I'm coming from and why I am the way I am. Do I think the timing was weird? Yes. but is Claudia's truth? Keep having to hash something up so personal and so hurtful like that. And I'm just glad that New York was just like, you know, I'm absolutely sorry that happened to you, because I can't even imagine how someone deals with that. So, and Claudia appreciated that, because her in New York are always out in the situation of good one minute, bad the other. So it was good for New York to just really just chill out as a chill out and be like, I don't understand what you're dealing with, but I understand that that is very hurtful and damaging. So I really just hope that maybe in the future you go and seek real professional help for it, so that you can one day get past or get from under it. And again, this was, and of course Claudia appreciated that, but Claudia was just saying in general that it's very easy for someone to call a woman a whore. And she was like, that's what actually happened. You know, there was this guy in high school that didn't want to, she didn't want to sleep with, and at the time she was still a virgin. And so he was just like, oh, well, you know, she's the type of chick that needs to be raped. And they're just like, what? And so then, what was it, like a year or so later, she was actually raped, and people were just calling her a whore and this and that before she ever even had sex. So she just had this whole idea of, no, I can't tell anyone, I can't really do anything about it, because people will go and say, oh, she was asking for it and this and that. And my whole thing is, I'm assuming Benzino was just uncomfortable with the situation, because Karamo went and looked over at Benzino. I was looking at Benzino too. Look, Benzino didn't have that look of compassion. He borderline had that look of, oh my gosh, are we still on this thing? Almost. He never said that. He never expressed anything like that. But anyway. So at the end, they talk about what they appreciated. Karamo appreciated the fact that he got to show him taking care of business and being a single father. Benzino was like, he appreciated the opportunity in general to make new friends and get closer to example for someone like Jen, where he developed a true friendship and to promote his businesses and his opportunities. Claudia appreciated the fact that she had another platform and she was able to produce her own show and get the ball rolling, show another side of her. Laura was excited that it was able to help her just move on in general, and again showcase her growth and evolution. And what's his name? Carlos King was like, oh, so does your ex still watch? She was like, oh yeah, he definitely does. Jennifer was just like, I appreciate the fact that you gave me the opportunity to show the fact that I'm not just that chick from Basketball Wives, and there's a whole nother side to me, and to follow your dreams, and I was able to do that. New York was like, you know, this just reaffirms how I've always felt about reality TV, that I loved reality TV, that I should be on reality TV, and that I want my own show. And everyone was clapping. I was like, yes, your own show, far away from us, bye. And, oh yeah, remember, please like, comment, subscribe. And, what's his name? Carlos King was like, in the efforts of continuing to be different from all the other shows, remember the focus group that I originally brought in the first couple episodes? Yeah, well, they're back. All the originals. They're back to say how they feel about you now. And so it was like all their opinions changed, of course. It was like they appreciated Jennifer for standing up for herself and just being more assertive, and her just being a little bit more relatable. They were like, shout out to Laura. She's love her parents. That was the only comment. It was like, love your parents. I have nothing bad to say about you. The girl who seemed kind of high at the time, or drunk the first time, her husband was there and he was also kind of loopy. I'm like, what pills are they on? And they both were like, we love New York. We love her character. Everyone's just like, she's perfect for reality TV. She definitely has that big personality, and they love all of New York. Tiffany, New York, Pollard. They love all of it. And I was like, oh, that's nice, because that is who she is at the end of the day. Everyone has that one, I guess you can say New York, and then have that Tiffany where it's just them and then the person that comes out when cameras are around. They were like, shout out to Karamo. They definitely liked the fact that he was a peacemaker, that he was putting in work in general. Shout out to Claudia. Definitely a boss. The general perception of her changed. I'm like, okay, that was nice. The other girl who called Benzino unattractive, she was like, ooh, you know, Benzino, I really appreciate you in general. Of course, I would date. It was like, it's like, aw. So I think I covered it, everyone. Yeah, that was it. That was it. The show's over. If it comes back, which it seemed like they were really trying to make sure to put in our minds that they'd be back and see how do you feel about it. I'm like, okay. Okay. Why not? Please like, comment, subscribe, and watch my other videos. You can easily do that by subscribing.